First, live, local. This is First Alert Weather Extra.
Hey, welcome folks. Mark Nelsen here, Chief Meteorologist at KPTV. You have just joined, and we're with you. First Alert Weather Extra. We try to do this every weeknight at 7 p.m. I'm joined by Payton Major. Payton, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Very good. Thanksgiving, do you have leftovers? Do you still have turkey or no?
No. I wish. Do you have leftovers?
Well,
I guess you were traveling, so.
Yeah, but did you go somewhere or was it at your place?
It was at my mom's.
Okay.
But I had to come to work after, so everyone took the leftovers.
What?
Isn't that rude?
In the break room, most of those were gone?
Oh, well, no, I still have those.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm just talking about my mom's leftovers.
Oh, that's good.
It's so rude of them.
Mom's good for that.
Yeah,
no, we actually didn't do Thanksgiving stuff. I had no stuffing and no turkey this weekend. We made pizza. Everybody made pizzas and it was Italian food, so it was pretty good.
Oh, actually, that's great.
It was actually pretty neat, outdoor pizza oven. Okay, but nobody wants to hear about all that. They want to hear about what's coming up with the weather. Okay, so Payton, you're going to take over first, I think, because we got a whole bunch of climate stats because it's December 1st. Welcome to December.
Yes, yes, it is. And so I love to nerd out on the first of the month.
So do I.
It's just so fun. Might as well show you all the cool numbers, right? You can take this full. This is November recap. So 63 was our warmest day. That was November 5th. Our average temperature was give or take around 50 degrees. I think it was 49.7. So we just rounded up there. And that makes it an above normal month. Specifically those overnights. We didn't have too many cold nights. In fact, before last night, we hit 34 right around midnight, I guess before midnight, and that ended up being our coldest night of the month so far, but before that it was 36. And then also, we told you a little earlier in the shows, if you're watching, we did hit 31 this morning in Portland, so we finally surpassed the freezing point. Thought we'd never get there. And then rain 4.5 inches. That is below normal, despite it being a big number. Sorry, we were laughing at the word fire. Okay, we don't know why that's there. I will address that later. December in Portland. Here's some dreary news. Cooler, cloudier, darker. Oh no, and usually wetter than any other month. That kind of describes December, doesn't it? I mean, at least we have Christmas, okay? Or else this month would be the worst. 47 degrees average high and low is 36. 19 average number of rainy days. So yeah, that kind of makes sense with the wettest month of the year. And I keep forgetting that second graphic. 1 second. There's the fire again, just in case you missed it. Again, don't know why that's occurring, but that's all right. And let's talk about snowfall. So December, yeah, we have had snow. I think 5 of the last 10 in recent history. There's that graphic I was looking for. And 1.2 inches in an average December. When we talk about an average, it's typically in the last 30 years. So it can happen, but it's not guaranteed. Okay, understanding the seasons. Today is the first day of meteorological winter. So that just means in the Weather Center, in the National Weather Service, or really anywhere that has scientists and climatologists, it is now winter. We're not going to wait till December 21st, but that's all based on sun angle, the December 21st through March season change, and the number of days varies, and we don't like that. We need consistency, so we know that December 1st through the end of February is going to be the coldest temperatures of the year, and we use that for record keeping and climate data to make sure everything's very consistent. Okay, Portland rain outlook. Here we are, December 1st. You see that little arrow there? That means today is supposed to be the highest chance for rain on any given day for the year. 73% chance. You're wondering, okay, then why isn't it raining? That's weird. We just got lucky this year. I don't know. It's kind of funny because, you know, any given December 1st, you have a 73% chance of it raining. We just got lucky with that extra 28% or whatever. I don't want to do the math right now. Okay, rain frequency, percent of years. You can see we're going to stay well above 50% all the way through spring break. So, yeah, it's wet season. And then December rain, thank you to Mark. Shout out to Mark for helping me finish this graphic earlier. Got distracted. Obviously none so far this year. We'll see if we actually get a little bit tonight before midnight. But last year, over 6 inches, over 8 inches the year prior. I mean, you can see we've had 4 juicy months of December over the last 4 years, especially 2023. And then that was, you know, after 4 really dry Decembers as well. So we'll see what happens this month. Our average is 5.77, again, the wettest month of the year on average. And then snowfall, this is just for Portland Airport, so PDX. And I grayed out the zeros so you can just focus on the years we have had snow. About 1/4 inch in 2022, lots of snow in 2021. That was 4 inches. Did you see that was around Christmas, Mark?
Yes, so Christmas Day and the days after.
Okay, perfect. Christmas and the days after. Said 2017 an inch, and then 2016 2.8 inches. By the way, measurable snow, you might not know this, needs to be 1/10 of an inch. It can't just be a little dusting of snow on the ground. It needs to be 1/10 of an inch. So that's why the rulers are so important. That wasn't supposed to be there. All right, let's go to Cascade update a little later on in the show. I know since we were on the snow topic, you're probably wondering what's happening in the mountains, but I'm going to turn it back to Mark real quick so he can talk about what the 7-day looks like.
Yeah, this is what I was supposed to show you at the beginning. Peyton's going to show us some December climate stats. Okay, we've covered that. Mild and quiet week ahead. I think that's the big message. And then we do have some light rain this weekend, but nothing looks heavy. All right, so first, Seaside, our camera out there. I'm headed out to the Seaside Festival of Trees this weekend. I'm going to be emceeing that. That's always a fun event to kind of kick off the holiday season. I don't think it'll be this nice, but I don't see any real stormy weather out at Seaside either, which I'll cover in a minute. But you could see the clouds suddenly thicken up. That's an approaching weather disturbance that's going to give us a few sprinkles tonight and tomorrow, and that's it. 47 today, by the way, like Peyton said. The average high is 49 at the beginning of the month. But we were a notch or two below average, but some spots in the 50s there. All right, so let's do the frost news. As Peyton said, we did have a freeze. Well, I mean, technically freeze, a light frost, let's say. It hit this morning, it hit 31 degrees here in Portland. Many parts of the Central Metro, East Metro, North Metro did not get freezing, so it was kind of around the airport. Some places West Metro, like Hillsborough, has already had a frost. Hillsborough is almost always before Portland because it's farther out. It's kind of a bowl there in the Tualatin Valley. But you can see pretty close to last year. Last year we were only 1 day off of the first frost, about 2 weeks behind average. It's been a pretty mild fall and now heading into winter. Okay, big picture, 7-day forecast. There's only one guaranteed dry day. It's Wednesday. We've got a shower or two tomorrow, and then you see a whole bunch of rain. But don't be deceived, folks. This is not a ton of rain, even though it looks like it. I'll explain coming up here. But first on the radar, you can see a few sprinkles, light showers starting to move as far south as Kelso and Longview. A few of these will spread down during the overnight hours. That keeps us above freezing tonight. So mild or warm, plus wet at times. These first 10 days of December, sometimes meteorologists or local weather nerds, people like me, would call this maybe a blowtorch start to December because temperatures, especially at the end of that 7-day forecast, looking very warm. No sign of a storm through at least next Monday, and less than 2 inches of rain for the next week, that's not all that wet. We were thinking yesterday, was it yesterday this time or about a day and a half ago? Some of our models were extremely wet. But we've got this setup. We call these sometimes like inside sliders where there's a strong area of high pressure sitting out in the eastern Pacific. The flow there goes like this, and when it comes down from the northwest can be kind of cool. But these little systems keep coming in like this to our east, and those are pretty dry as they move through BC, eastern Washington, Idaho, and Montana. And here comes another one this evening, a little wiggle in the jet stream. Higher up in the atmosphere, this is what it looks like. That ridge of high pressure is lingering just off the west coast. And look how it's still there tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday. Thursday still looks kind of the same. So a lot of clouds coming around from this direction, just not much rain in that setup. It does get smushed down, flattens down a little bit as we get into the weekend. That Sunday, notice, by the way, this whole time it's very cold to the east. So this is a mild west pattern, cold to the east. All right, this is what you don't want to see if you're sitting here, for example, if you have a ski pass in your hand ready to go, like this guy. So mild westerly flow. This is Sunday, all right? Then it's kind of this west-southwesterly flow next Monday and Tuesday. Still the ridge, it's just kind of here, it's weak. We sometimes call this well, not this part, but over the next few days, a dirty ridge where it's not stopping all the rain in the Pacific Northwest, it's letting little weather systems through it. What we want to see, if we want a more normal pattern, is more of this cool air to work its way across the Pacific and into the Pacific Northwest. That would get the snow up in the mountains and cooler weather systems. We don't see that until at least next Wednesday or Thursday. All right, so that's over a week away. So that week system, cloud cover forecast is the fresh 0Z evening model coming in. This is 2 a.m. Notice we're getting some light showers. Quite a bit of snow in the northeast Oregon mountains, the Blues, the Elkhorn Mountains, and the Wallowas. Not quite a bit, but a few inches. Tomorrow morning throughout the daytime. But notice west of the Cascades, a lot of clouds, just not much rain tomorrow. A few sprinkles here and there. Wednesday, we've got a lot of thin high clouds. See, stuff is coming in from this direction. Wednesday's a dry day, and then Thursday, not a ton of rain. Yeah, it's just this light rain. This is Thursday morning, and then you get into Thursday evening. Some of that turns into snow in northeast Oregon. Yeah, it's really light stuff. In fact, if we take the latest forecast from this evening model, that's through tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon, Thursday, what do we have? Oh, that was it? Wait, Peyton's laughing. Why did it stop? So it stops at 7 a.m. Thursday. Somebody changed the timing on me. I'm going to have to send a nasty email about that, I think, coming up. Not too nasty. I don't want to get myself in trouble, but yeah. Who changed the timing? Why would you change the timing? Okay, anyway, partly cloudy, a few light showers at the coastline tomorrow, right around 50. Payton, I should say, Payton did this work and centered our wind speeds perfectly. It was driving me nuts that they were going slightly off there. So Payton does everything around here, it seems like. So then in the valleys, mostly cloudy, maybe a morning shower. I mean, there could be one in the afternoon, I suppose, but I think a lot of us will just stay dry most of the day. The only place that gets a little bit of wind tomorrow, a little westerly wind through the gorge. Westerly wind typically gets you more sunshine out at the other end of the gorge, and that will be the case. Should be dry out from Hood River to the Dalles tomorrow. If you're hiking waterfalls at the west end of the gorge, like Multnomah Falls, though, just a sprinkle or two. So a little colder on the mountain, a trace to 1 inch. Could the passes have a spot of snow in the morning? Maybe. Notice it's well below freezing all day at Timberline and Meadows and the top of Ski Bowl. And then east of the Cascades, final stop here. Some rain and snow throughout the day, especially in the morning, but throughout northeast Oregon. Notice only around 40 at La Grande and Baker City. You could have a skiff of snow on the ground in the Baker Valley. La Grande, maybe not, but you'll be fine driving through there, except maybe over Meacham in the morning could be a little snowy. So our 7-day forecast, I've shown you this. I do want to hit, let's see, one spot here. Sunday, I think, is that the right day? You never know which door to open. There we go. Forecast rain. So this takes us through Friday evening. Notice, boy, just very little here. 1/4 inch, so that's nothing Wednesday plus Thursday and Friday's rain. Okay, and then we go all the way through Sunday and Monday. That's 1 inch of rain. The mountains capture more of it in this setup, but 1 inch of rain for a week. So there just isn't that much rain coming up. Okay, coastal storm update. You can probably guess the way I'm talking, since I keep saying weak storms and the high pressure centered over us or offshore. We don't get big stormy weather. Here's just the wind gusts. You want to see stormy weather, you want at least yellow. Let's go through the next few days. That's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I mean, the best we can get is maybe next Monday, some gusts of 40 or so along the north coast. Nothing's happening here in the valleys. Yeah, that's it. So all the action is going way up here because the main jet is going up to the north. I mean, this could easily change, and you know, maybe 2 days after this, suddenly everything's to the south and we're in stormy weather. It can change very quickly in December. We're just not seeing it, though. But as for wave heights, you can probably guess that also keeps wave heights pretty low. Saturday, Sunday, which reminds me, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, that's king tides again. It'll happen again in early January, but it will not coincide this time with stormy weather. So the tides will go very high, but we don't have any additional big waves coming up. So to wrap it all up, I think this is my final graphic. Next 7 to 10 days in the I-5 corridor, what is likely or what is not likely between now and December 11th? We don't see a setup that brings lowland snow. Nothing below 3,000 feet. Arctic blast, definitely not, because all the cold air is being dumped out into the central and the eastern USA. Windstorm, we'll be watching for that. Could something pop up next week? Or right at, you know, beyond the end of our 7-day forecast? Possibly. It is the right pattern with west-southwesterly flow. Or flooding. Remember, I said yesterday morning, or was it Saturday evening, a lot of the models were showing a ton of rain for us, like 4, 5, 6 inches in just a few days, like next week. We're not seeing anything right now, but we will be watching next week. I bet you can guess, folks, if you're watching, we've talked about a lot of warmth. We've got the 7-day forecast with highs well into the 50s. You probably guess we won't be skiing this coming weekend, but Payton has more thoughts on that. What do you have?
Yeah, no, it's not looking likely.
Nope.
Oh, am I on? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're on. I can see it.
Okay, perfect. Okay, well, let's take a look at our snow forecast.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, I know. It's really not good. All right, so this is through Tuesday evening, so tomorrow evening. You can see ski resorts, which is sometimes where we see our most impressive totals, right? This is 6,000 feet and above. 1.5 inches. Yeah. We'll take it. It's more than what we've had over the weekend. Maybe 1/4 inch at Government Camp. But you can see that little sliver of white that's worked its way over the passes. That's what we're talking about. It's just some very, very light snow tomorrow morning. Snow level forecast. Again, this is the lowest elevation of sticking snow. So if you follow that yellow line across your screen, you can see we are 5,000, even 6,000 feet and above for most of the next 7 days. That little dip early on is, of course, that little bit of snow that we're expecting for tomorrow. And a 7-day Mount Hood forecast here. Again, really focusing on the elevations in blue. This is the ticking snow level where we're not seeing anything around 4,000 feet, which is pass level. Rain Friday, rain Monday. It's just not going to be cold enough up there to support snow, because we have a little bit of moisture later this week. It's just not going to fall as snowfall. So less than 2 inches of snow on that 7-day snow forecast. I did not like typing that. I'm so sorry. This unsolicited more information. Why not? To talk about that really cold air that's east of us. I know I've had a lot of people say, why couldn't it just be a little more west? I know. If you're really craving the 15-degree high in Minneapolis on Thursday, I mean, you could go there. It's real chilly. Down in Memphis, highs in the 30s. This is Thursday. And I wanted to pull up snow from, well, maybe I won't pull it up. Oh, there it goes. I wanted to pull up snow from now through Thursday so you can see. It's mainly around the Great Lakes region, the Rockies, hogging a lot of it, and heading into Colorado too. So very typical spots that we see snow around the U.S. this time of year, but it's nothing that's going to impact us locally, and fully dodging the Cascades as well. So in summary, and very on track with everything we've said, it is too warm for significant Cascade snowfall at this point.
So basically that took us about 15 minutes to tell you there's not a whole lot happening here for the next 7 days.
Yeah.
Drippy at times, no heavy rain. That's the big message.
I do want to preface December, as we've said, December can change in a snap. So you just want to, this is such a good time to prepare. I was at Discount Tire today, and so was everybody else, probably getting their tires, you know, snow tires on, whatever. But hey, I think they're smart. You got to get out, get it done early, get that emergency kit packed up, just so it doesn't catch you off guard. Yep,
could change quickly. It's possible 3 weeks from now we're in the worst Arctic air outbreak we've seen in 20 years.
Oh gosh,
we don't know.
I hope not.
Or maybe just like this. We'll see. Hey, thanks for joining us. Peyton, anything else?
Nope, that's it.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us, folks, on First Alert Weather Extra. We will be back here tomorrow night at 7 p.m. on your Tuesday. Next show here on your Fox 12 streaming app will be at 8 o'clock. We've got the newscast at 8 o'clock with Peyton. We'll see you then.